Howdy, folks. So I know it's gonna be dark in here. I'll get the dome light turned on here in just a second. Hope y'all doing okay. I just got done with my shift at work, and there was something on my mind that I wanted to yap about, and I'm pretty good at that, so I figured I'd kill a couple minutes on the way home giving you an opinion. So honestly, it's about election day, which is in now 6 days, and there are a lot of variables going into this election that weren't there in 2016. The conclusion that I was willing to make going into 2016 and stand by with fair confidence is that Hillary was not going to landslide the way that everyone was predicting, and that she did not have the 98% chance of election. And I've gone through that. There were a couple things that made me think that. So, moving along from that, I don't know that Trump's got 2020 in the bag. I really don't. I do think that there's underreported facts and underreported information in his favor, but that doesn't necessarily mean a Trump victory. But I want to go on record. It's now 6 days before the election. I'm going to upload this when I get home, so it will be up days prior to the election. And I want to go on record and make a prediction. I have seen reports from both sides of a political aisle stating that if they lose, they're calling for violence. And I'm not talking to you like mainstream media or Republican or Democrat Party. I'm talking more the outlying elements of that. Okay? So, but I do think that if Trump wins, I would wager you will see protests, rioting, and violence in the streets in at least 10 cities. That's a number that I feel pretty comfortable with, 10 cities. And I think that's going to come from Antifa, BLM, organizations like that, and I think that there's going to be huge social media boo-hooing and basically all the people that went on social media and cried about Amy Coney Barrett, Comey, I don't remember honestly, getting confirmed to the Supreme Court. Those same people are going to be having a conniption fit over Trump winning election. And first off, I want to say it won't matter if it's by a slim margin or 40 million popular votes and a sweeping win in the Electoral College. So I'm saying this, it doesn't matter if it's by one vote or 40 million in the Electoral College. So you could have massive landslide in every conceivable way for the winning candidate, okay? I'm not saying that Trump pulls the 2016 and loses the popular vote by a few million and wins the Electoral College. I'm saying if there is an undeniable, resounding sound off for Trump or Biden, that this is what's going to happen. I would wager if Trump wins re-election that you will see violence in at least 10 big cities. If Biden wins election, there have been calls by the Proud Boys for violence should Biden win election. And I think that's unwarranted because Biden is kind of the most dull person imaginable. You know, Trump, love him or hate him, and I come down really weird on this guy, and I'm not going to get into that right now, but his attitude can be highly provocative. I don't think he as an individual is highly provocative. I don't think he as a president is provocative at all, but I think his attitude comes across that way, and I get that. Biden is kind of boring, didn't do anything for 47 years, why would anything change now kind of guy. So I don't get the calls for violence if Biden wins the White House, my opinion. I do think that you will see limited acts of violence from groups such as the Proud Boys, directed towards very specific groups. Like you might see the day after election day in certain states where the mail-in voting isn't a big deal, and you won't have the option or ability to contest an election later. I do think that you will see perhaps say Democratic headquarters firebomb the day after in certain locations. That would be kind of my expectation with that. I don't think you're going to see people getting hurt. I think you might see property damage to an extent. And I'm not making excuse for any of it. I think that zero violence should happen at the end of a due process election where the people go out, cast their votes, the votes are counted, the results are accurate, there's not serious doubts about voter fraud and tampering and all that, which the mail-in ballots are causing. But say like the 2008-2012 election, I don't think there should have been any violence in response to that. You know, one person lost, fair enough. 2004 re-election, 2000 election, I don't think there should have been any violence after any of those. And I'll go further and further and further back. I don't think there should have been violence after Trump's election. You know, when Trump won the election and was sworn in office, there was some vandalism that happened in D.C. immediately following, and in other major cities. I don't think that should happen. So I'm not making excuses for one brand of violence versus another. I do think that if Biden wins, that the violence is going to be more specifically targeted, but I don't think that that's an excuse for any behavior like that. The only way I see that there will be no violence on November 3rd or 4th or during the swearing in of office is going to be if either Joe Jorgensen or Kanye West takes the presidency, which I don't see happening. I personally would love to see Joe Jorgensen win presidency because I think that the look between the two because what would happen is both parties would be geared up and revved up, ready to cause problems. You know, the people that are going to do that, they're going to be ready to go and cause problems. And then Joe Jorgensen is declared the victor of the presidency. That guy's nuts. I do not see how he does it. It's 50 degrees out, misting, and he's on his Harley. Guy I work with, he'll ride down until it's like 38 degrees. I don't get it. Whatever, float your boat, dude. But anyway, I think the only way that happens, because the people that are going to commit violence, if their the presidential candidate they're backing doesn't win, are going to kind of be geared up on the 3rd or 4th of November, ready to go out and cause problems. And I hope they don't, no matter what. But if Joe Jorgensen wins, all those people that are geared up, ready to go cause problems, are going to have to turn and stare at each other with the most confused looks on their faces, and it's going to be glorious, and I would like to see that happen. 2020's been a crazy enough year. Why not elect the third party candidate or Kanye West? Because why not? 2020 is the year of that might as well happen. So, anyway, I'm not going to go on very long, but that's kind of my opinion on whenever the election is official and whenever the president is sworn in and takes the oath of office. That's my opinion on what's going to happen. Comment, let me know what you think. Love to hear from you guys. As always, take care, stay safe. Thanks for tuning in for another Cruise with Smooth, and I'll catch y'all next time.